Hello and welcome. My name is Brandon Tobias. I'm a channeler, energy guide, and healer, and I'm here to let you know what it is that makes you worthy of greatness and your greatest success in this lifetime. Keep in mind, as I channel, quick disclaimer, I'm going to be speaking both from my human self and my personal experience in this lifetime, as well as my channeled information about you, the viewer, watching. And so my goal is to hit on and share and channel information towards and about you, literally the person watching this video, that will be relevant and helpful for you navigating your life right now to help you achieve the success you were meant for, that God and the angels and the universe meant for you. So let's go ahead and get right into it without further ado. Guides and angels, through with the power of unconditional love and light for the highest possible good for the viewer watching. What is it that the viewer needs to know for their greatest and highest good around their success in and about this lifetime? You're saying greatness eludes you because you yourself feel that it is impossible to attain with your current circumstances as you are. Meaning that you in your current circumstances right now might feel and think, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that as you are not enough to attain the greatness or the success that you see for yourself at some point someday. That you might have to change yourself or modify yourself or improve yourself or do something, take some course, take some online community, right? Or join some online community in order to become the person capable and or worthy enough of attaining the greatness. And the guides want to say right now to you watching that that is simply not true. You may use the excuse to say to yourself that I am not capable of doing those things. Therefore, I must join this online community. I must take a course. I must get certified. I must learn more about this particular subject. But at the end of the day, it's more so a fact of believing that you are not worthy as you already are in this moment of attaining that success rather than your capabilities. Now, it is true for some of you that in order to attain success in a certain area that you are not qualified or that you don't have the knowledge to attain, yes, you would have to take a course or a certification or accumulate some extra knowledge or experience in that area. But the success that we, the guides and I, are talking about does not pertain to an area that is outside of you and who and what you naturally are. See, today's society is filled with opportunities to become successful or competent or financially, successful. And we've deemed, by the way, financial success and security in that way as what it takes to be worthy in today's world, okay, in today's society. And so we're not talking about that type of financial success specifically. We're not talking about that type of security or success generally in society. We're talking about the type of success or security within yourself that it will take to feel worthy in all areas and to feel greatness in all areas. And also through that energy itself to attract in all that society promises, like money, like security, like comforts, and luxuries as well. To sum that up in English, right, Human Brandon is here to say that you may be, if you're thinking about if right now in this moment in time, you don't think that you're worthy of attaining success or greatness as you are, and you might say to yourself, well, I need to go do this course, certification, online community, right, as we've said several times now. That might be true if you want to attain success in a different area that is outside of what you already naturally are. And you might think that that's necessary in order to gain the financial success or the comfort or the luxuries that this society promises. And what the guides want to tell you is that part is not true. You can attract those things from developing the parts of what you already naturally are inside and developing those parts to their fullest extent, practicing those parts to their fullest extent, experiencing those parts to their fullest extent. Okay. Now, Brandon here, okay, as an example, he tends to do this, okay, is demonstrating this right now. Okay, how is that? Because I'm literally just I'm sitting here in front of a microphone talking and using my gifts to channel. These are already gifts that I naturally have to channel and give you messages. I didn't need to study a certification for this. I didn't need to go and learn anything different or new outside of me. I just needed to trust and know and develop and experience my gifts over and over and over and over again until I became confident in my ability to utilize them. And What I'm learning too, alongside of all of you with the guides' help, is that if I practice sitting in and utilizing these gifts that I have that are already inside of me, I don't need, for example, the tarot. I don't need, for example, to other courses or resources and things like that. It's just me. It's just my abilities. That greatness inside will actually attract in the financial security, the wealth, the luxuries, the comforts, and the security that society promises when you use or study or do different things outside of yourself. Okay, so the current societal or worldly challenge maybe going on inside of you is that what you have inside already naturally is not enough or is not capable of achieving or receiving those things. The finances, the security, the comforts, the luxury, the things that society promises if you go and get a certification or do a certain job or do a certain task. Okay? And right now, what we want to share with you is that if you are willing, because it's very scary to do this, right? And Human Branding can attest to that because we're doing it right now. It's very scary. I could feel a lot of fear in myself and maybe in the audience, is if you are willing to actually allow and trust what's inside of you to come out and to be expressed in a way that is open, in a way that is available, in a way that is able to impact the lives of others in a public and visible way that is easily attainable by others around you, you will start to experience and you will start to see and you will start to trust your gifts. You will start to get confirmation of your gifts from others around you. You will start to have your gifts reflected back to you. And as this happens continuously over and over and over and over again, you start to accumulate the confidence and the experience that will essentially be the things that attract you, the money, the financial security, the wealth, the success, the luxury that we all maybe, or a lot of us are looking for, the greatness, okay, externally and internally inside in this society. Okay. And it's essentially what the guide just showed me is it's that experience and or that confidence in utilizing these gifts inside of you, publicly available, right? And maybe even for free, for a lot of you watching for free, that as that thing grows within you, that is like the ball, like that's like the money ball. Like as the confidence and experience grows in utilizing your natural gifts publicly, openly, and available to all, maybe even for free, that ball, as that ball of confidence grows within you, that also is what attracts to you more money, more income. Okay. And so this is, as you can see, this might have to, depending on where you're at this, the stage of your journey, this might take some time to actually manifest itself into a big enough ball of confidence and experience within your soul to attract the money, the comfort, the security, and the luxury that you desire. But what the guides are showing me is that this is the only true sustainable way in order to create this for the rest of your life that will eventually manifest itself into something that is effortless as well as sustainable in all ways. Okay, emotionally, financially, spiritually, in all the ways. Okay. Okay. Now, what this requires is a divergence from anything else that is outside of what is already naturally inside of you that you're currently doing, existing in, working on, okay? That is something that you feel, and you're going to feel it, by the way, right? Like, let it be clear. You're going to know as I say that, you're like, oh, that thing that I'm doing, that thing that I'm working on, that thing that I'm focusing my energy and attention on, like, it's not, like, it works, it's good, it meets some of the needs of what I have, but it's not fully just coming from me as I am, right? It's requiring some sort of external or extra additional energy in order to sustain that thing, because it's not coming truly from inside of me. Therefore, it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. And here's how you know, and here's kind of the chart, right? The chart of what the guides and angels are showing me is that the further that this thing that you, the audience, may be doing that is outside of you, right? The further that that thing is outside of you, let's say like you're, for example, like you are really good at language or English, and you're like, your profession is like a mathematician, right? So you're doing it because you studied or because you learned a lot, you put a lot of effort in to become that thing, but it didn't come from your natural gifts, right? It didn't come from naturally inside of you. That thing is going to, the further outside of you that the thing that it is you're doing, the less sustainable it is for the long term. Okay, energetically, emotionally, and even financially, because believe it or not, when the energy and the emotion, when that sustainability runs out, the financial stability runs out right alongside it, right immediately after. Okay, that's just been a pattern that I've seen both in my personal life and what the guides are showing me as well. Is that whatever it is you do in your life, okay, just generally speaking, but also if you want to become great or have the greatest success you can in this lifetime, if it doesn't come from here first, if it's not already a natural part of you, an extension of what you are already first, it will never have the emotional and or spiritual sustainability to last for an entire lifetime that will also be able to give you what you need, what you're looking for. Okay. So many of us drop that, and what's happened in this, basically we drop that. The problem is we drop that, we drop what's inside of us, and we chase after something that we know is stable or secure in our society for money alone. Okay, I've done this. I'm sure many of you done this. Many of my clients I've worked with do this. Okay, we let go of what is naturally inside of us, and we seek specifically, or we chase after something, right, that we know, oh, that thing, if we study this thing or become this thing, that will result in money or security or stability specifically. Therefore, we should or must do that. There's no other choice in this society but to do that. Right? I'm sure many of you are familiar with this story, and it's played out for millions and millions of people on this world, in America as well, specifically. Not realizing that chasing that thing, even though there is good in having financial security and stability and certainty in that area of your life, that the longer you do that, so long as it's outside of you, and also corresponding to how much it is outside of you, how different it is from what you are, right? Not realizing that that is inherently very unsustainable energetically and emotionally, and will eventually result in the disappearance or the lack thereof of the financial security from which you may have originally sought, right? Now, why do we bring all this up? Why do we all talk about this? This is happening. This is actually collectively happening in the world today, particularly in the United States, I would say, is finances are an issue for a lot of people. And part of the reason why it's an issue is because the energetic or emotional sustainability of what many people have been doing in their life, okay, and you may be one of them, you may not be, right? Just depends, has run out. It's run its course. We've reached a state in our human evolution where it's no longer sustainable to keep putting in effort into things, jobs, professions, certifications, etc., that are maybe have the promise of providing money, but that are not from within. They're outside of ourself, or they're just specifically seeking that one thing, right? So this is happening actually collectively, emotionally, spiritually, for the people of this world right now. That's why the guides are that's why the guides are here channeling through me, is because this is a collective wound that's happening, and you may be experiencing that as well. If you're having fears around money, or sustainability issues around money, or you just can't seem to ever have enough money, right? Or it seems like no matter how much work you do, it's like you can't add to that. You can't add to your bank account. It's like you can't, consistently, sustainably go above a certain level, even though you're putting in the work, even though maybe you had a good job or a good business. We're talking to you. That's why. Because up to this point, you may be like, well, I'm good at that area, right? Like, or he's not talking to me. It's like, if you're having these issues with money in any sort of way, it's not because necessarily, although it does correlate, it's not because necessarily inflation is super high and the economy's bad and it's like the wages aren't keeping up. It's like, obviously that's a part of it. I'm not doubting that. But the spiritual or emotional reason is actually because we as a people have run out of the ability to keep giving effort or energy that is just to something outside of who and what we naturally are. Okay? And therefore, as the guides already mentioned, as the emotional and spiritual sustainability part runs out, so too does the financial stability run out. Okay? And maybe there was a time in the world where we could, that it wouldn't matter so much, right? Like where we could do that. We could go and become and have a profession or study things that are just maybe not so naturally intuitive to us and do really well financially for a long time. But times have changed. And that's why this video is coming out, is because times have changed. The guides want to let us know that's not the case anymore. That's not the energy around money. The energy around money is now shifted and shifting continuously towards wanting to come from within. Okay. So the whole point of this is, if you are having financial issues, if you are having sustainability issues with your finances, you don't have enough, you can't keep up with the bills, all that stuff, look at how you are making your money. Look at how different or how outside of what you naturally are, right? Whatever that thing is, look how different that thing is that may have promised good money at the time and may have provided good money for a certain amount of time. Look at how different that thing is from what you naturally are within, and you'll find your solution. Okay? Yeah, let that sink in. You'll find the solution. You'll close the gap. You can start to close the gap, right, between what you do professionally on a daily basis and how far away that is outside of you, and bring it closer and closer and closer to you. And for some of you watching, this may be a stair step, right? It's what the guides are showing me. Like, it doesn't just happen instantly overnight. Like, you don't just go from maybe being, like we said, a mathematician into, I don't know, an English linguist overnight, right? In that former example. You don't just go from being a lawyer into a doctor, right? If that's your true profession, just as an example. You might have to take it in steps. You might have to take it in waves, right? Or it's like you make this big leap, you make this big step into a pivot, we can say, this next area or profession that is closer to me. The next year we make another leap, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So this is, and it just, I only bring this up not because this video is about me, but it's because when I channel like this, I'm talking for and about myself too. I'm part of you watching. I'm not outside of the energy, right? This is definitely involving me. And you can see, I want you to just look at the difference here. This is the leap for me. This is another leap for me, another pivot for me. My initial pivot, because before this, I used to do health and wellness consulting, and I used to build out, biohacking laboratories, and I was really into health and wellness. And eventually I realized, right, that job, that profession was just, while it was really well, like it was parts of it were in alignment with me. It wasn't fully coming from me. Pivoted from that to building a tarot business. Okay. And now, more recently, right, I'm realizing that tarot for me, while it's much closer to being in alignment with me, it's not fully just coming from me either, right? So don't be surprised if you see less tarot readings. Sorry, everyone. But that's the truth, is you're watching me in real time try to make these pivots, despite my fears, trusting the guides and angels and them saying it's like, that's not fully just you, right? Just you and what you're here to bring out. There's still a little bit of a gap there. And so I'm looking to close the gap here. And I hope it can be an example for you watching in looking at your own situation, asking yourself, where is it that right, you watching, have had issues in sustainability in my finances, or my sustainability in my effort towards my finances, or effort towards being as great as I can be, or as successful as I can be, or receiving what I'm meant for. How different, another question to ask, how different is what I'm doing for my profession or consistently on a daily basis? How different is that versus what I already am naturally inside, that I don't need any learning or certifications or job experience to be? I just bring out of me, and I am brave enough to bring that out of me and practice bringing that out of me until the confidence and experience grows to a point, the ball inside of us, that attracts money and security and luxury and wealth and all those things. Okay, always keeping in mind that, again, there is no like getting rich quick, or there is no like, overnight pivot all the way. It's everything is really gradual. It's stair stepping, but this is the general path that I wanted to bring through tonight for my audience. And again, both what I'm going through personally, as well as channel advice from the guides and angels about how to do this, how to make these pivots that will result in an everlasting and ever sustainable. The goal is an everlasting and ever sustainable, profitable, secure business that you can continue to pour yourself into on a daily basis and love and enjoy, and it feels relatively effortless, and also rewards you. It attracts to you everything that you want, need, and desire in this lifetime. And again, keeping in mind that part in particular will also take time, right? And so there's nothing wrong with, in a very practical sense, right, continuing to do something that is unsustainable for you, that is unsustainable for you, but slowly doing or building something on the side that you are increasing your confidence and experience in on a daily basis, to the point where that confidence and experience grows inside of you enough to start to attract money, to start to attract the luxuries, the wealth, the comfort that you desire. Okay, that you can slowly then build your ship and transition from the thing that you don't, that is not sustainable for you, into the thing that is sustainable for you for a lifetime. So I hope this video, part of this video was just to kind of open the doorway here and maybe cause you watching to look at and examine these things and ask yourself these questions, and then ask yourself this final question, which is, okay, given all this, what Brandon's sharing and what the guides are sharing, like, what is that thing within me that I can just bring out, that is, as the guide said, free, publicly available, open and available for others to see, witness, and experience value from, that I just am bringing out from within me? What is that thing, right? What is that thing that I can just share from the world that doesn't require necessarily any more learning or certifications or experience or, again, qualifications that we typically look for in today's society in order to gain, quote unquote, success or wealth or stability, security? That's the pivot here to start to look at, to start to ask yourself. That's how you start to make these moves. And again, you can look at me and my business from 4 or 5 years ago and how that's transitioned into what this is slowly pivoting into today. And also that it's possible for you, that you can also make that very same pivot slowly towards the things that are more from you and less from outside of you, that you thought or felt you needed to be or do based on other needs or desires that are very common in today's society. Okay. All right, so I would love to hear from you all in the comments below. Let me know your experience. Let me know your thoughts on everything that was shared today. I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. If you did watch till the entire thing, thank you so much. And if you want more messages like this, and this was inspiring and enlightening and aligning for you, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments, your experience in the comments below. I was going to say your comments in the experience below. Hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.